Hey guys, Savageredrecovery back for another video. How are my savages doing? If you guys aren't subscribed, do me a favor. If you want to support the channel, subscribe, hit the bell, get all my notifications. Hit a like, comment, share, help me out with the algorithm. If you guys aren't following me on Instagram, you can find me at savage_red_studios, where you can see all of my photography. And also I have a Facebook page and a Twitter. And you guys can check me out on Patreon. You guys can also check me out on the Cash App. Let's get into it. The reason that I'm doing this is because it just goes to show you how easy it is for women to make claims against men when it comes to grape without the R or assault in a sexual manner, and how it can easily affect a guy's life or cast doubt on a man or make a man look like he's a monster. And it's just so easily and nonchalant that these women say this stuff, and how it can have long-term effects for the men that they're dealing with. And this right here, the judge agrees with what I'm saying. Let's get into this video. As always, let's go, my savages.
Wojciechowski is suing Jason Ciordia, her ex-boyfriend, for a cell phone bill, a car loan, and harassment. He is countersuing his former friend for harassment and slander. I've read the papers here, and the two of you have very different versions of your relationship, other than the fact that you met on MySpace. Were you boyfriend-girlfriend?
As I explained it to several...
No, there's a yes or no. Were you boyfriend-girlfriend?
So as you could see, the judge asked her a direct question, and she couldn't even answer the direct question for the judge, who's a woman. And the judge isn't putting up with it, because she knows, she's a woman, she knows that she's the judge, she's dealt with this many times. She knows exactly how women won't answer your question.
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah, I guess not.
No.
Were you boyfriend-girl?
So when the judge pushes back on her, try not to answer the question, what does she do? She already recanted what the whole claim was, that she said that she loaned her boyfriend money, and now within 30 seconds of being in the courtroom, they weren't boyfriend and girlfriend.
Girlfriend?
No.
Were you boyfriend-girlfriend?
No.
You say that 2 weeks after meeting on MySpace, you met in person. Is that correct?
A week, yes.
What happens when you meet in person?
We just hung out at his apartment, me, him, and his roommate. We watched a little bit of video games, them two playing video games. Later that night, he had tried to get in my pants, and I told him...
Okay, so you notice how she said he tried to get in my pants, and then she rolled her neck. Because the fact that she said that to people made her feel good. It made her feel wanted. So you can see that she liked it. By her body language, it shows that showing him being thirsty was a good look for her.
Clearly no several times. After that, he took it upon himself to slide my panties to the side and have his way with me.
Slide your panties to the side.
Okay, so as you could see, he tried. She said no, 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 no. And then he just slid her panties to the side and had his way with her. If you listen to how that sounds, it sounds like that was force. That she wanted nothing to do with this, and that it was against her will. And as you could see, the way she said it, it was very nonchalant, like, oops, oh well.
Have his way with you.
Yes.
You said no.
Well, I did say no.
Okay. Jason, when a woman says no, what does that mean?
It means no.
And what are the consequences if a woman says no and you continue?
That's a rape charge.
That's
Your
right.
Honor.
When you said no, you said then he slid your panties to the side and had his way with you. So you're saying you weren't agreeing at that point?
I was not agreeing at that point.
Okay. Women are not required to do anything more today than say no. There was a time when they had to forcibly resist or have earnest resistance.
Your Honor, that's incorrect.
What? Forcibly resist?
No. Her just saying no altogether. I asked her, and one thing led to another, and yes, we did have sex on the first night we met.
Worst night of my life.
The worst night of your life?
The worst minute of my life.
The worst minute?
You notice how she tries to clown the man? saying that he doesn't last very long. So we went from them being boyfriend and girlfriend to not being boyfriend and girlfriend to it being grape to it being the worst minute of her life. You know, and she laughed. Not that it, like, you would assume that if she was graped, it would be horrible. But the way that she says it and comes about it, it's not any of what she was saying it was.
Of your life. Boy, that's a shot. All right, so if you said no and you meant it and he forced himself on you,
I would say more like pressured.
did you call the police? Did you call a friend? Did you go to the hospital? Were you forcibly attacked?
I was not forcibly attacked, no.
She spent the night, Your Honor.
You spent the night?
On the floor and he was on the couch. I was on the floor and he was on the couch.
You know what? I just told Jason that when a woman says no, it means no. He clearly understands the consequences.
Correct.
Now I'm going to turn to you and I'm going to say this. If a woman gives a sworn statement to the court, he refused to take no for an answer, he shifted my underwear and did what he wanted, then it sounds to me like you're making a claim of rape. And if you make a claim of rape when it's not rape, then you are offering a false instrument for filing or presenting an untrue statement to the court.
Right. He was more or less pressuring me.
Okay. What?
So, as you can see, the judge takes this very seriously because what she's saying is true. The claim that she's making in the court case seems though it was grape. But as you can tell by how the woman nonchalantly said it and how she inflated pressure to grape, this is the issue these days with these laws, because certain things that are not grape have been pushed into the same category as grape. So the way the law is written, she could have went to the police with this statement and he would have been charged. Automatically, he had been arrested off her testimony alone. But as you can see with the judge pushing back on it, it's not exactly what she said it was in any way. And she didn't say that she stayed the night. Because you would assume that if you were raped, you would not have stayed the night. You would not have kept dealing with this person.
What happens? Do you see each other again?
Yeah, we continued to see each other. He had claimed he had Hodgkin's lymphoma, made me feel extremely sorry for him, pitied me into getting several things from, including a title loan, a cell phone that he defaulted on both of those.
This guy pressures you to have sex, and then all of a sudden you spend the night, you get a loan for him, you help him out.
I felt terribly sorry for him, terribly sorry.
I'm looking at him. I don't feel bad for him at all.
I really don't anymore. I really don't feel sorry for him anymore.
How long were the two of you a number? Or what do you call it?
Well, she was a good friend of mine.
How long did you have this relationship that you say is now boyfriend, girlfriend?
4 or 5 months, something like that, 4 months.
Wow. Wow.
And what it was, Your Honor, is I'm a cancer survivor. So she could say that I make false claims about it. That's fine on her behalf. If she wants to sit here and sully my name, I'm not worried about that. She's trying to sit here and tell me that I forced her to do all this stuff. I never forced her to do anything.
Well, clearly by her actions afterward. And I have to tell you, the one thing that you don't do is trash a man's reputation and accuse him of forcible rape. You know why? Because there are women who do this and it's not right, and we punish that kind of thing.
Right.
His reputation is all he has. Don't ever come into a courtroom and make a complaint that he had his way with me, slipped my underwear to one side, and then tell me you spent the night and went back for more.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Don't thank me. I'm not done with you yet. Okay.
So you can clearly see that she's clearly this whole time trying to paint herself as being the victim in this story. And this is a common thing that happens with women. Women make decisions and then it doesn't work out the way that they thought or wanted it to work out. And then they start making stuff up to paint themselves as being the victim. As in, you shouldn't be going and getting a loan for a guy that you've only been seeing for a couple of weeks. Even if you're not even dating him. Like, you shouldn't be doing that for a guy you're dating. A guy should be able to do these things on his own. It's a different story if you guys are married and he gets hurt at work or gets cancer. Like, there are certain circumstances where this stuff should be allowed and women shouldn't find it to be some negative connotation. But even as a guy, if you don't fall into being married, getting cancer, all these things, getting robbed and shot and being put in a wheelchair, or some crazy circumstances, you shouldn't be doing stuff for a man like this. You just shouldn't be. And the fact that she did it and now she regrets it means that she's going to sully this man's name and she's going to make a false claim. The fact that she wrote this in a statement to the court, this right here could get this guy to go to prison, because this was entered into a court case, which is a crime, as the judge stated. But I guarantee you the woman has not been prosecuted, wouldn't be prosecuted. And had this not been on TV and the judge pushed back on her to change her story, this man could have easily went to jail. If she would have went to civil court where they live and did this, he could have got criminal charges.
Okay. What are you suing him for?
I am suing him for the unpaid title loan. I am suing him for the phone bill, the unpaid phone bill, and also for harassment. He's left countless numbers of voicemails. He's called 21 times within 5 minutes when I was trying to work.
You got the voicemail?
Yes, I do.
All right, let's hear it.
Hey, I was just calling to try to let you know that if you wanted your brother's head back, you can kiss my ass. So, as far as you saying whatever you want to say, go for it. I don't give a you know what? Say what you want, because you're only hurting yourself here. I don't really give a you can play your little kiddie games. I was just trying to let you know that you can come get your brother's hat back, but now since you want to get about it, I don't give a about that. I'll wipe my that as soon as I get home.
And in that message, Keith.
The message speaks.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna condone what this guy did. He should have never he should never left a voicemail. He should never called her. He should have just let it be, because this just makes men look bad and desperate. Men shouldn't act like that. They're above this.
For itself. What do you have to say for yourself?
There is no excuse for that. You know, I flew off the handle, and I agree that.
Why did you fly off the handle?
Because at that moment, she said she was trying to work, but she wasn't working. She was sitting there texting my boss. So I figured I'd try to call her. She kept answering the phone and hanging up. Answering the phone like, get a life, hang up.
All right. Now, why'd you get him a phone?
Like I said, I felt horribly sorry for him. He was saying how he needed to get in touch with his baby mama, his doctors. You know, it was playing the whole cancer card on me every time. Even after the phone, he tried to get a crotch racket out of me, saying that he wanted...
Get a what?
A motorcycle, a crotch racket. Stating that he wanted to live his life and he wanted to do all these things before he passed away. At the time, his roommate was getting a crotch racket.
I don't want to discuss that anymore.
I'm sorry.
I really don't. What are you doing with the cell phone from this woman? Why are you even getting a cell phone?
I just had her put it in her name. I paid the first month's bill, and then after that, I don't know, I didn't pay. So.
Why? Give her the phone back.
The phone's mine. The phone line was in her name. That's the only thing that was in her name.
All right, give me the loan. You took out a car loan?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, she's suing you for the car loan, yes?
Yeah, correct.
Why are you taking money from when? All right, took out a car loan.
Yeah, it's not a good look.
$725.
No, the 725 is like all the interest, fees, and everything put together. If things would be paid up,
when you want to borrow money.
the bill isn't even due yet, Your Honor.
Why are you saying it's premature, this
Yeah.
lawsuit? When is it due?
It is due actually in 2 days, and I have not seen one dime. I have not seen
I'm
one
saying,
dime.
Your Honor, you see what I mean?
I have not seen one
She didn't
dime.
even give me a chance.
All right, you were countersuing her for harassment
Yeah,
and
this isn't a
slander.
good
What
look for this
slander
guy.
did she post?
She turned around, and next thing you know, she flipped out. She's talking crap about me to my friends, my boss. She's posting it on Facebook. I mean,
What did
I
she
think it
post
goes
on
back.
Facebook?
She's like, "I'll be there when your heart stops beating. I'll be there when your last breath." I mean, she just decided to drag my kid's mom in this and just trash talked me the whole time.
Give me the Facebook messages.
And these are directly from my kid's mom's account.
And you text his baby's mama.
I messaged her, yes.
Why?
Because initially I had gone on his MySpace. I could not get a hold of him. He blocked me from his Facebook. I was trying to find an article of clothing, so the only way I could get a hold of him was MySpace. And his baby's
I'm
mom...
afraid to ask, what is the article of clothing?
Just a bra.
A bra?
A bra.
So, I've already watched this, but we're gonna get into how this woman, like, obviously I don't think this guy was right. I don't think what he was doing was right. I think the way he was acting, from what I've heard in this case, is not, he's not a great example of a man. But I just want you to see what women do to men, like what they do that affects other parts of their life and how easy it is for them to do. So this is going to get into his baby mom and how this woman was trying to affect his relationship with his kid.
Posted it on my MySpace wall. She couldn't message it to me. She posted it on my wall for everybody to see. How does that look when some girl's posting on your MySpace wall, oh, I left my bra over at your house? The same weekend that my daughter's over, we have an agreement between me and my kid's mom to where we're not allowed to bring my daughter around other people. So when she posted that on my MySpace wall, it made it look like my daughter was around a bunch of these chicks.
Did that affect your visitation with your daughter?
It does. I don't have her for overnights anymore.
How do you feel about that he doesn't have her for overnights? Because you had to post on his wall, where's my bra?
It wasn't legally, but you know, if it's legally like that, then yeah, I feel horrible.
What's legally? What do you mean it wasn't legally?
Legally, it's just her mom, his baby mama
She has
is not
custody over him.
Is not
her.
Don't talk legally if you don't know what you're talking about. Why would you text his baby's mother, or Facebook the mother?
It was for the simple fact that in return she came back and attacked me.
No, but you started it. You just said it. Why did you Facebook his baby's mother?
No, this was from the MySpace. She had then left a comment after me stating, oh, you know, he's just using you, you know, and then said a bunch of things that, he called me.
You're gaming me, and I'm not playing.
Yeah, she's lying.
Okay?
You can tell it.
No, ma'am, I'm trying to explain to you what...
No, you Facebooked her.
I thought she should have been informed, you know.
So as you can see, she's stumbling over her words and she's trying to justify why she went to his baby's mom, because what she really was doing was she was trying to affect his relationship with his kid and his baby's mom. And now that the judge is pushing back on her, she's stumbling over her words, trying to come up with the reason why it was okay for her to do this.
Informed of what? That you're sleeping with her ex?
He would constantly hide me, and I felt that wasn't right. That they should have known that each other was, you know, kind of in a relationship, because it seemed...
But they do know that they're in a relationship. I don't need to ask him, but what they've agreed to, which I think is wonderful in this day and age, is, look, baby mama, I will not bring a woman when I have our little girl for visitation and overnights. And baby's daddy, I will not bring a man when my baby's here. I think that's admirable. I think it's about time people started doing that. And who the hell are you to get in the middle of it and inject yourself into that? Where do you get off contacting his baby's mother and messing up his visitation?
He had already put me in the middle, Your Honor, by...
You weren't in the middle. You just said he was hiding you, all right? Now,
So as you could see, she was trying to argue the battle, all right? She was saying what she had to say to be right in the moment. But then she doesn't remember what she said. So you can tell that this woman's not credible. But as you can see, she's lying to the judge, she lied to the court, and all these things negatively affect the guy. The guy is the one that could have went to prison. The guy's the one that doesn't have his daughter for overnights now. And it is completely okay for, like, women justify this crap with each other and themselves all the time.
What's interesting about this is that the text messages are primarily 8:15. Did you work on Sundays?
I work on weekends, yes.
Okay, so, all right, 8:15 is a Sunday. Now, what I've got... On a day that you're working, and I just got tired of counting, there's over 100 instant messages from you to him and back and forth.
I work every other weekend, Your Honor.
Oh, so this Sunday you weren't working.
So now, as you could see, she said that he was harassing her, and also she said that she was working she works weekends. But now the story changes to where she wasn't working that weekend. So as you can see, these women are like, they do the same shit. Like, I'm sure this dude was messaging her and causing problems in her life. I'm not saying that's not the case. But the difference is she put in there that he forcibly graped her in her statement, and then made it seem like this was just him doing it to her, when it's mutual. Just like if you look at the statistics on cheating when it comes to domestic violence, it pretty much breaks down to be about 50-50 on men and women when it comes to cheating and when it comes to domestic violence. But she's trying to make herself look like the victim and trying to make him look like the evil man.
No, Your Honor, I had just started, and I can pull up
Here's the thing. What's going on here is that, the way I see it, is that you want to be done with her.
Correct.
Her relationship and her Facebook jeopardized your visitation with your daughter.
Correct.
All right? And you don't want to let it go. You
do.
say that you're the one who's being hidden. You're being hidden for a reason, by the way. And you're the one who keeps trying to contact him. And he did call you, and that voicemail is outrageous. But you know what? What I'm seeing here is, based upon all of these instant messages, you're like, I want to be with you. It's not fair. I just hate being in limbo. You ain't in limbo, honey. He doesn't want you.
Well,
all
yeah,
right? Oh, stop clapping. The issue for the court is whether or not the plaintiff is entitled to money for a cell phone bill and a car loan and harassment, and whether or not the defendant is entitled to money for harassment and slander. Let me get rid of the harassment right away. Harassment is a criminal a cause of action. You have to call the police. You have to get them involved. You have to document if it's harassment. So harassment on both sides goes. Now, you are suing her for slander. The slander is, it's not so much about slander, it's about the fact that she is contacting your baby's mama. She put you in jeopardy with visitation. You don't have your daughter for overnights anymore because she posted, did I leave my bra at your place? She did it for a reason. She put it on the wall. She didn't IM you. I mean, we all know what's going on here. She's trying to stake her claim. All right?
Yep.
That ain't
Exactly what she's trying to
slander.
do.
And that's not something you can sue for. Are you mad? Yes. Should you be mad? Yes. You got to be very careful who you sleep with. All right? Because they can get you in trouble.
Thank you.
Now, the cell phone bill, you agree you owe it? $405? No question about it?
Sure.
All right. The car loan, you're absolutely right. It's premature. It's not due for 2 days. My verdict is for the plaintiff for $405, and leave him alone. So ordered.
So it's good to see right here that the judge was fair. The judge was fair. But even with the judge saying you need to watch who you sleep with, the fact of the matter is, she was saying that to the man. So the way it works out, it's his responsibility to take who he has sex with and who he sleeps with. But when the woman makes poor decisions, the government steps in and makes the child support, welfare, rape charges, stalking charges, all these things, the government comes in and says, hey, you made a poor decision, we're going to correct it. But that's not what, when the judge was talking to him, that's not the same way that she painted it towards him. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments. This just goes to show you how easy it is for women to say false allegations or lie or justify the stuff towards a man. And this is what men deal with, and this is part of the reason why men are stepping away from marriage and stepping away from having kids. That's why there's the men going their own way movement, and there are men that just are starting to walk away. As always, guys, stay savage.